the red heifer, the third temple, and the end of days. What is a red heifer and why are we talking about it? The red heifer. A red heifer is basically a red cow. It is a cow whose coat has no more than one single hair of any color other than red, and whose skin, hooves, and eyelids are all also reddish. The red heifer is described in Numbers chapter 19. This is the requirement of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to bring you a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under yoke. Numbers chapter 19 verse 2 NIV. Further instruction concerning the sacrifice of the red heifer are in verses 3 to 10. Burning the ashes of a red heifer is a mandatory. And lasting verse 19 to 10. Act for beginning the temple offering to God. The ashes of the red heifer is a key element in a biblically mandated purification ritual. These ashes are required for purification in a range of situations, including contact with dead bodies. Numbers 19. Now with all the bloodshed on the temple mount drawn through the centuries, the mount itself must be cleansed before the temple can be built. Without the red heifer even trying to build a third temple, the second one destroyed in 70 AD would prohibit the act of properly offering sacrificing to God, and before Jesus will back for the second time, a temple need to be present, and without a red heifer, the temple sacrifice will not be suitable for worship. One can see the absolute significance of the appearance of the red heifer so that prophecies concerning the second return of Christ can be fulfilled. Moses prepared the first red heifer, and from the time until the destruction of the temple, only 9 heifers were prepared. As the amount of ashes needed is very small, there has been no proper red heifer in Israel for the past 2000 years. The difficulty of finding red heifers anywhere is that they are not only rare, but the animal have to meet the requirements as stipulated in the Torah and in the oral Talmud, the Mishnah, and the Gemara, oral Jewish law and commentaries. The 5 main criteria for establishing the proper red heifer for the holy purpose of purification are: it should be completely red with no spot or blemish. Actually, the heifer can have no more than 2 non-red hairs, and 2 hooves have also to be red. It has to be a female. Heifers are female. It has not been used for labor. A yoke has never been put on. It has never been pregnant. It is 3 to 4 years old. Some heifers have been located in the past from 1996 but were shortly disqualified because of blemishes that later appeared on the body. Word has come from Israel that spotless red heifer has been born. If it is the long-awaited red heifer, huge prophetic implications are in place. The arrival of the next red heifer could be the signal that the third temple can now be built, and the end of time and judgment day will follow. Very recently, the Temple Institute of Jerusalem, which run a Rise a Red Heifer program, announced that 170 day of Elul 5778 August 28, 2018. A red heifer was born in the land of Israel. The red heifer candidate is bringing rice and especially cared for under the auspices of the Temple Institute's Rise a Red Heifer program. If it remains without blemish, it could be used in a re-established temple service. The Temple Institute is a non-profit organization founded in 1987, which is dedicated to rebuilding the Jewish temple on Mount Moriah in Jerusalem. Much of its work has been in areas of education and raising awarenesses, but it has also made remarkable practical achievement toward turning the third temple into a reality. This is another bold move for our institute, having already painstakingly prepared more than 16 square vessels for the third temple. It has recreated over 70 utensils fit for the temple service, including the gold menorah, the gem-encrusted breastplate of the high priest, musical instrument used by the Levites, and priestly garments. It is the process of re-establishing and restoring and training of those from the Levitical line. Since 2015, the Institute launched the Rise a Red Heifer project to use power of modern technology to breed cow to meet the requirements. Due to laws restricting the importation of live cattle into Israel, the Temple Institute imported frozen embryos of red Angus, implanting them in Israel domestic cow. The pregnant cow were raised on cattle ranches in different locations throughout the country. For this red heifer seen on week after its birth, it was certified by a board of rabbis as fulfilling at the biblical requirements. The rabbis emphasized that the heifer could at any time acquire a blemish, rendering it unsuitable. They will be inspecting the calf periodically to verify its condition. There is one other thing we ought to note. Unlike most other aspects of the temple service, burning of the red heifer and the use of its ashes to purify do not require ascending to the Temple Mount. This is of the political complexion that may arise, since Jews are currently not allowed by law to pray or perform an ritual at holy site. Rabbi Hamrisman, the international director of the Temple Institute, commented on this on Institute website. If there has been no red heifer for the past 2000 years, perhaps it is because the time was not right. Israel was far from being ready, but now, what could it mean for the times we live in to have the means for purification so close at hand? With the words of Maimonides in mind, we cannot help but wonder and pray, if there are red heifers, is ours the era that will need them? It look like that with the red heifer in place. The stage is set for the building of the third temple and the end of days. So friend, today is my discussion over. Thanks for your watching.